Normally a city proud of its teal and black, Jacksonville, Florida boasted a river of red on a warm evening in November 2010. Sauntering through the streets of downtown, hundreds of families who had experienced a fight against leukemia held red balloons and flashlights as a part of the Light the Night Foundation walk. The Light the Night Foundation gathers families in many cities. Some are survivors, holding a balloon, proud of their recovery. Others walk in memory of someone who lost the fight against the cancer of the blood and bone marrow. But the goal for everyone is to walk a mile and raise funds and awareness in a desperate attempt to research to find a cure for leukemia. But the Light the Night participants aren't the only ones who want to find a cure. Last year, with help from a grant for the Alliance for Cancer Gene Therapy, scientists at the University of Pennsylvania got creative. And according to MSNBC on August 10, 2011, they may have found the miracle cure for cancer, the human immunodeficiency virus, the infamous HIV. By intentionally infecting leukemia patients with the DNA of HIV, scientists have been able to watch pounds of cancerous tissue melt in a matter of days. So today, we will understand this development by first learning about the science behind what makes it work. Second, learn about the treatment that has been done for patients, before finally considering the implications of what might be the miracle cure for cancer we've been searching for. Gene therapy was introduced in the mid-1980s. First, we will understand what role it has in this development. But to begin, according to CNY Central on August 11, 2011, annually, 15,000 Americans are diagnosed with chronic lymphatic leukemia. 4,300 die. Most patients are middle-aged Caucasian males. Currently, the best treatment for leukemia is a bone marrow transplant. However, marrow transplants are risky, invasive surgeries with a very long recovery period. There are few donors to begin with, and even when a surgery is actually done, it only treats the cancer in about half of the patients. Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania were sure that there had to be something better than these questionably effective treatments. So they considered gene therapy. According to a 1987 New England Journal of Medicine, the idea that a genetically modified virus, cell, or bacteria could alter a normal human cell's behavior was introduced in the mid-80s. In targeting leukemia, scientists knew that they had to find something that would enable the body's own immune system to be stronger, namely specifying on T cells. The natural, however counterintuitive choice was HIV, a virus known for specifically seeking out the body's white blood cells called T cells. In working with HIV, they removed the gene that would have led the virus to actually cause AIDS. According to the New York Times on September 19, 2011, leading University of Pennsylvania researcher Dr. Carl June is quoted as saying that normal HIV is dangerous because it infects a cell, replicates copies of its DNA, and then destroys the cell. This HIV is different. It infects a cell, but cannot replicate copies of its own DNA and does not destroy the cell once it infects it, therefore not leading to the immune deficiency that AIDS is. Instead, this HIV teaches a T cell what a cancerous cell looks like and tells it to attack. They tested the efficiency of these modified cells by placing them in a dish with tumors. They couldn't believe it. Instantly, the white blood cells attacked and destroyed the cancerous cells. And not only did they effectively destroy these tumors, but they also continued to multiply and survive in this altered state. It was time to test them inside of the body. As a police officer, Bill Ludwig was taught to be independent and strong. But when he was diagnosed with chronic lymphatic leukemia, he knew that he could not fight this battle on his own. Now we will learn about the applications of this development. And according to the previously cited MSNBC article, last year, Bill Ludwig was told that he had a little more than a month to live. His radiation treatments weren't working, and he was not a candidate for a bone marrow transplant. Feeling as though he had nothing else to lose, he allowed scientists to remove some of his white blood cells, mix them with genetic material from HIV, put them back into his body. Bill Ludwig was one of 3 men chosen to have this experiment done on them. They were each infected with their own HIV-fused cells only once. Following the single injection, the 3 men each experienced what felt like a terrible flu. They all had high fevers, chills, sweats, and were nauseous. This is what it feels like for the body's immune system to fight an infection, and that's not so different from what was actually happening. Once their flu symptoms subsided after about 7 days, scientists were stunned. Instantly, pounds of cancerous tissue had melted in the men, 5 pounds of tumors in each of them. 1 year later, all 3 men are completely cancer-free and show no sign of remission. In the year 1983, HIV was discovered and deemed harmful. Who would have thought that 30 years later, we would be repurposing this virus to save lives? Now we will understand the implications of this development, which are on a social and practical level. First, on a social level, according to a USAID article from August 3rd, 2011, HIV carries a tremendous social stigma. However, if HIV is to be used as a cure for a terrible disease, the stigma could be lessened. HIV may become seen as a lifesaver, not just some virus limited to the developing world, or seen as a punishment for a gay person or drug user's life choices. However, it is questionable how much this stigma will be lessened. According to the previously cited MSNBC article, 2 of the 3 men involved in this experiment wish to remain anonymous for fear of social backlash following their HIV infection. These men cannot spread HIV to anyone, but it proves that maybe the social stigma of HIV is too deep for even this experiment to touch. And on a practical level, this is a revolutionary approach to medicine, to take something that was once a death sentence and repurpose it to prolong or save lives. Dr. June's study was small and done on 3 demographically similar patients, but his research holds promise for future treatments, not just on leukemia. Already in South Korea, scientists are testing the efficiency of HIV on lung cancer by having mice breathe in a nasal spray made of the same modified HIV. Maybe Dr. Carl June's research will lead to further treatments in humans. But the idea of using an incurable virus to cure a disease makes people remain wary. This form of HIV does not lead to AIDS. However, AIDS is not the only side effect of the human immunodeficiency virus. Other side effects of the virus alone include swollen lymph glands, high fevers, and chronic diarrhea, according to a PubMed Health article from August 1st, 2011. Even though it takes up to 40 years for HIV and essentially all of its potential complications to truly kill someone, if properly controlled with medication, obviously, people who undergo this treatment will experience a lower quality of life, and some question if it's worth it. For me personally, having lost my father to leukemia in September of 2010, it's really hard to not see this research as tantalizing and hopeful. A father infected with HIV could still tell me at my graduation in a month that he was proud of me. But maybe because my family did not get that choice, I won't get the chance to hear that from him. But still, my experience is not necessarily representative of the general public. The idea of curing a disease with a disease is so counterintuitive that patients, scientists, and doctors remain cautious. So today, we have heard about how HIV could become the cure for cancer, its applications, and its future implications. Together, my family and the Robert E. Lee High School team were able to raise over $2,000 for the Light the Night Foundation Walk in Jacksonville. But it takes more than just a successful fundraiser to cure such a hard-hitting disease. We need skill and creativity. And the scientists at the University of Pennsylvania have this down to a T.